All righty. We
Sorry, we don't have no music this time. No music, no intro music.
okay, guys. We are live.
Tell them why we're live, bro, on the road. Tell them why we're live.
There's no one on. There's no one on right now.
That's okay. Oh, don't pick your nose up.
Picking my nose.
Rubbing your stash.
All right, guys. Okay, I see one person on there. Got four. All right. Okay, Shalom, Straightway, Georgia, Elder Rufus. Shalom, Elder.
Did they make
All
him
right.
homesick? Did they make him homesick?
Hey, guys, check in.
Did they make him homesick?
Did you guys make it home safely, Elder Rufus?
It might be Sister Jennifer.
Or it could be Sister Jennifer, too. Shalom, Jay.
Is that Jay Ontario?
Shalom, Bridget. I see
Is that
Bridget.
Jay
Sister
Ontario?
Bridget,
Jay
huh?
Ontario?
Yeah, Jay Ontario is
Tell
on
them we were
there.
in Detroit. We looked across and we saw Canada.
Hey, Jay, we was in Detroit. We saw Canada from across the river there.
I think that's Ontario.
Okay, Pastor Elder Rufus is 40 minutes away.
Okay. Bless you.
Hallelujah, blessings. Well, guys, I am on I'm on the road. Jordan, all right, Jordan. All right,
Jordan, our Jordan?
yeah, brother Jordan,
Jordan, you're not working, bro?
Michelle, Jay's in San Diego.
Oh, his last name is just Ontario?
Arteria, yep. All right, guys. It's just been a busy week here at the Hebrew to Negroes conference, the Great Awakening, and I got brother David here. It's you guys can see right here.
You guys,
David's been, even if it's a 10-hour drive, and if I get tired,
even when you're tired, you fall asleep driving.
he thinks I fall asleep driving, but I don't, because he thinks I hit myself to stay awake, which is some truth to that. Friends, about it was very. This is out of Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, and it says here. It says, Jesus says, "Think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled." Now here's the one that I really want to hone in on. Verse 19. "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." So I'm reading this to you guys because it's very interesting when you follow Pastor Dow. Now, and this is going to be a short show, guys. But if you guys have comment, I can for the first time get to see.
Do a sound check.
I can see a comment here. Can everybody hear me? Just
Give 'em a
because I am
1 to
driving
10,
here.
1 to 10.
If you guys can give me a 8 and say 8 for great that you can hear me, please give me a give me a skill from. Give me a 10. Give me a 10 if you can hear me, and if it's not, then obviously give me a lower number. Okay, everybody's giving me 8 so you can hear the number. Okay. All right. Good. Everybody that's on there look like they can hear. So, all right. So, guys, I'm reading this stuff because it's very interesting. When I came out of Christianity, obviously you guys know my story of coming out of Christianity, right? Okay, thank you guys. Give me an 8, 10. When I came out of Christianity, it was very interesting because when I met Pastor Dow, and when he eventually came out to Green Bay to try to do the debate with Young, it was like two worlds coming together. You had straightway my new family, and then you have my old family coming together. And I'm thinking like, man, my old family, man, I mean, this is like, these are the Bible scholars. Like these are the theologians. I mean, man, these people pride themselves of being people of the word. And then all of a sudden, obviously I switched teams and ended up being a part of Straightway by that time. And then when we got to when the debate happened, it was like, wow, like Pastor Dow blew Ron Young out of the water. Like it just made Christianity look like it wasn't even like non-existing. It wasn't even it was a joke. It was a joke, and I was so proud that I could say that this is my new family, and to see them together, not only just what Pastor Dow did during the debate, but just the way the Hebrew Israelite community at Straightway, just how they handled themselves, how they showed up, how they left, how they carried themselves, the questions that they asked, the way that when they came to Green Bay, and a lot of the saints stayed at my house, and how they just was such very thankful and grateful. So I was grateful to have them at my house. They were grateful. I felt like they were more of a blessing to me than I was a blessing to them. In Christianity, I felt used. You know, they came and used me up and said goodbye, thanks. I was honored and grateful that pastor and the saints and elders and the saints would stay at my house and clean it and try to leave it better than they found it. I mean, I was just so blown away, and compared to my experience in Christianity. So and then to see how with Pastor Dow, how Pastor Dow did more, was more on the word than the Christians that I left. So anyway, why am I saying all this stuff? Because I obviously don't feel that Christianity at the end of the day is not even in the vicinity of making to the kingdom, because they don't keep the commandments of Yah. Their righteousness does not even supersede that of the Pharisees, and we know that the Pharisees was hypocrites for the most part. But then now we in another environment. We get to Detroit, Michigan, and now you are comparing yourself. I'm just not comparing myself, but I'm looking at Pastor Dow's and see how he lines up with the Hebrew Israelite community at this Great Awakening. And like I said, the conference was great. I thought it was a great start. I think it's something that can be good in the future and can continue to get better. I think there's some things that they can work on, but obviously it was the first one. My hat goes out to Ron Dalton and Dr. Howard, Pastor Howard, for them putting this thing on. I thought it was great. But when you saw all the speakers and all the YouTube people that you see on YouTube come together, I was blown away how once again Pastor Dow, you can see why he was the man of the year. You can see, but he stood out. You would think it'll be a little bit close. I mean, you have people in the truth for years, 20 years, 10 years, some 5 years, but people were in the truth. You have people who was obviously worthy enough to be a speaker or to be someone there to be hosting or doing a workshop. And once again, Pastor Dow blew. I mean, he was a head above them all. I mean, you even had them inspired to want to learn more about what Pastor Dow's doing. And here's why I think Pastor Dow stood out. He stood out because what I saw, I'm just telling you what I saw. He is a doer of the word. He not only teach, but he do. So when you look at this thing in scriptures, when it says here in verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do, keyword do, and teach, Pastor Dow, do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So it makes sense why Pastor Dow was Hebrew Man of the Year. It makes sense why he was light years ahead of a lot of all the speakers. It makes sense because he not only teach, but he do. So if teaching and doing is going to make you great in the kingdom of heaven, how much more will you be great here on earth? That blew my mind away. And then I think about Psalms 119. If I can, this is not my Bible because I'm on my phone, but when I go to Psalms 119, I want to show you guys something here. Psalms 119. Hold on. Psalms 119. I think about this with Pastor as well, and it makes sense. Here it says right here, Psalms 118. It says right here, verse 97. If you go to 19, verse 97 says, "Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day long." All the day, sorry. I mean, when you're keeping the commandment, you're going to naturally meditate on his word.
Right.
And then it says in 98, they are ever, these are people, compared the Hebrew Israelites, if you just took the Hebrew Israelites in community and compared to Christianity, I'm just showing you guys a difference, they will all blow them out of the water, because Christianity is a religion that is it's a lawless religion. It practices iniquity.
Yep.
They don't practice each other. You can see the difference between knowing and doing. And so let me keep reading. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditations, right? I understand more than the ancient, because I keep, like, I know more, I have, look, he says, I understand more than all, I understand more than the ancient, meaning the older people, because I keep thy precepts. So when I look at this stuff, like we see in Psalms 119, because Pastor Dow is a doer, because he keeps his precepts, because he does what it says in Acts chapter 2. Pastor Dow, one of the things that Pastor Dow clearly blew everybody out of the water is living community. Guys, I am in community. Everybody knows about Straightway Praise Land, but even I, who's gave up a lot, lost a wife, lost children, 8 of them, lost half of everything I've ever worked for, gone, can never get it back. You know, obviously through the way I got it, but Yah's gonna do it another way. But lost a lot, and even I was challenged that I can do better by my own shepherd, by my own pastor, that I can do better when it comes to community. And there's gonna be some changes that's gonna be happening at Straightway Praise Land in the near future. And I'm going to, you know, now I have my kind of my focus, my vision for Straightway Praise Land, on how we can continue. Now that the storm has gone down, now that the storm has gone down from my divorce, I'm getting everything into my trust. There's gonna be things, I'm not gonna mention too much of it right now, but there's things that I'm gonna do that's going to be more in line with what it says in Acts 2 and Acts 4. People say, man, Kabir, you're doing it, but I can do better. I can do better. And that's where I'm striving for. I'm just striving as I continue to know in part what to do. But Pastor Dow is a doer of the word. And because he's a doer of the word, that's why he stood ahead above everybody. Light years. I mean, guys, light years. I talked to guys or heard guys who've been in it for 20 years, but they're not doing it. Pastor Dow, man, if you guys don't get a chance, go get a chance, listen to his Shabbat message at the conference. I mean, man, he brought the heat. I mean, Pastor Dow, I'm talking about, I mean, zing, like right, I mean, it was a gut check for anybody, and for everybody in there. I mean, hold on, here's David.
If you guys want to watch the Shabbat service, go to YouTube and type in Spiritual Combat, and Brother Michael Israel streamed it live on there. And if you want to fast forward to Pastor's part, I think it's like a time marker, like 3 hours or something like that, and you'll see Pastor, he was towards the end of the service. So but just so you guys know, there will be another video with better quality and audio put out later. But if you guys are wanting to see it now and you guys missed it for whatever reason, go to Spiritual Combat on YouTube, and Brother Michael Israel has it up on there as well. So just want to
all right, thank you. So you guys see what Brother David looked like. If you didn't know what he looked like, he's supposed to be the guy in the back. You only hear his voice, but oh well. Hey, this is a special moment. This is the road edition, the KGB Live on the road edition.
David's face revealed.
Yes, his face revealed. So for you guys out there that didn't know who Brother David is, that's what he looks like. So anyway, but guys, Pastor Dow was talking about in this message, which was mind-blowing, was that he was saying that a lot of time preachers don't preach on things that they're not doing. They can't preach it because something in them will convict them that they're hypocrites. How can you expect more from your congregation when how can you expect more from them than that you're able to produce for yourself? And so when Pastor Dow talks about Acts chapter 2 and Acts chapter 4, talking about how people sold houses and land and had everything in common, they can't speak on it because they're not doing it. And so that's why you don't hear preachers preaching about it. And that's where I believe so many people in that room. I mean, I'm telling you, you could have dropped a pin in that room. It was, I mean, it just, you saw the manifestation of people on that stuff. And you even saw some disrespect. Straight up, people envy and disrespect. I mean, you got people plugging in.
At the end of the day, you can't judge the word.
Yeah, you got people plugging in books and their books and things. Guys, I'm just telling you, Pastor Dow is a class act. I mean, this man, guys, I just went to Pastor Dow and said, Pastor Dow, I just told Pastor, I said, Pastor, I love you. I didn't know what to say. All I could say is, go.
Tell him what you told me about. He said, look, I knew I was right, but I know I was right.
Yeah. So I was telling Brother David. I said, Brother David, when I came into this truth and picked Straightway as the place I'm going to assemble and hang my hat on, I said I knew I was right, but after this conference, man, now I know that I was right. Like right. You can't get any righter than this. And so, I mean, that's how. I mean, guys, let me give you this. Like, I played for the Green Bay Packers, right? You guys all know this, but there was a period in my career when you played with the Green Bay Packers and you had Brett Favre as your teammate, right? I mean, you knew you're going to the playoff. It's just like automatic. We didn't know how. We just knew we were going to make it to the playoff. We dominated. There was a couple of seasons you just gonna dominate. This is the Green Bay Packers. We're gonna come up in there and we're gonna kick your ass, and you just know it. You know, I mean, I'm just being real. I mean, now there was very few teams that you actually envy. Say, man, why we don't do it that way? But when I was with Mike Sherman, I mean, we did everything first class. I mean, like when people came from other teams, they said, man, the way they run things, it's like a first class organization. That's how I feel being part of Straightway. I feel like, man, it's like people want to do what we're doing at Straightway. Right. We're doing it. I don't go and say, man, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can learn from other people and things of that nature, but I'm not like, it doesn't move me because we're doing it at Straightway. We are doers. This ministry, Straightway Truth Ministry, is a ministry that teach people to be a doer of the word and not just a hearer.
Just let them know. It's not like Brother Kabir is not putting anybody down. He's just basically being a voice for a call to action. So you guys can see the example from Pastor Dow and follow. I mean, I think that Yah's done a good job in putting examples before us in every single environment that Israel's found themselves in. And you know, in today's time, with everything that's going on in this Babylonian system, like Brother Ronald Dalton talked about, you know, there's got to be an example of how to do this, and Straightway is that beacon of light that we know of at the moment. I mean, I guess show us somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. Like Pastor says it all the time. So
let me read something to you guys. Now, this is what I hope that people that are watching this stuff is. I'm not trying to put other camps or whatever down. Guys, all I'm saying is this is what made athletes great. You will have a guy, I could be a starter, right, in my position, but then I got somebody right on my heels, and he's my teammate, and he should want the best for me, but at the same time, he's trying to take my job. But his desire to take my job also inspired me to work even harder so I keep my job. He's trying to take my job, I'm trying to keep my job. But him trying to take my job and me trying to keep my job actually made us all better. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Iron sharpen iron. How are we going to get there? Like the fact that this guy is sitting here hoping that he can get an opportunity to take my job actually provoked me to want to be a better player. It makes me want to watch film. It wants me to want to get in the weight room. It wants me to make sure I know my plays so that I can keep my job and be the starter. That's what they call healthy competition. And so we should be like that too as Hebrews. We should be challenging each other not by talking, but being a doer of the word. We should, instead of looking at Pastor Dow or even even Straightway with all the communities. I know I talk to my community. I would say, guys, I want us to be the best community out there. I want us to be an example of what Pastor Dow is teaching. I don't care who it is, guys. We want to be the best. That's how I talk to my community, but not for the sake of saying we just want to say we're number one. We want to be the best in hopes that it will provoke our brothers and our sisters to do better, so that we have that health
Oh, my voice won't be too long. You know, you screaming.
Can you guys see me? Okay, guys, please give me. I look like I lost you guys there. We hit a dead spot. Can
1
you
to 10.
give me a 6 if you guys can see me or hear me?
Give it a little time for me.
It says 20. Can you guys see me? You guys see me? Give me a 7 if you hear me, please. 7 if you. Okay, 6. Okay, I didn't know you can hear the 6. Okay.
If anything, they can always go back. Let them know.
Okay, you guys can always go back, but we hit a dead spot there. So yep, just skipped a bit. Okay, back to what I'm saying, guys. I'm getting a little on fire here, but anyway, I will calm down here. I'm bring it up. Okay, guys. So if you go to Hebrews, thank you guys, thank you. So you go to Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24. It says this, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to do good works. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to. Pastor Dow was provoking the Hebrew Israelite community, provoking them, daring them to try to come and do what he's doing, begging them. Well, why? Not to just say, but to encourage them. He didn't say come and join straightway. What he says, hey, get 2 or 3 people together, and you do community. Just start meeting together, start living life together, break bread together, and then start moving out and come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. That's what he was doing. He was provoking. And look what it says, and not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as we see the day approaching. Guys, we are coming. The day is approaching, guys. Can we not see? Homosexuality is on an all-time high. Do you guys see? Effeminate is coming out. It's militant. Feminism. I mean, there's so much children are being disobedient. People, I mean, guys, it's crazy out there. So let's inspire each other, guys. Not in the sense of trying to have bragging rights, but let's provoke one another. Let's not be what you call that word? Just lethargic in our walk. Let's not be passive. Let's not be comfortable. Let's not be comfortable and complacent. That's the word I was looking for. Let's not be complacent. Let's be about it. Let's do it. Yes. So, guys, I just, that's what touched me, is to say that, man, guys, if you're part of straight, don't be happy to say, well, I'm part of Straightway. It's not about just being happy, man. Let's do better. We all can do better. Even I think we're doing Pastor Dow give us, praise what we're doing at Straightway Praise Land, but we can do better. I came out of this saying, man, I can do better. It hit me. I'm like, I can do better. I'm speaking from my own. I was convicted. Like, man, I can do better. I want my life to be close to that word, that when people see KGB or Kabir, Brother Kabir, or Straightway Praise Land, I want them to say, man, when you go to Straightway Praise Land, man, it's like walking right in the Bible. Just like it's like when you go to Straightway Tennessee. It's like you walk in the Bible. I'm trying. I want to even do better than what Pastor Dow is doing. Why not? I mean, just because it's Pastor Dow, I mean, he wants us to do better. That's what all those 20 years that Pastor Dow has been doing that, you think he just did it just so that we can just be like him? No, he wants us to be better. That will please somebody like a Pastor Dow, I believe. And so, guys, I just want to encourage all of the communities out there. But watching my thing here, I want to encourage you guys, man. Let's be doers of the word.
Let me ask you, bro. Let me ask you a question, bro. Speak, or I guess not a question, but just I guess maybe a direction. But speak to them about your dynamic that you saw, because I think with anything, any kind of movement, right? Anything that
follow and continue on
Sorry about that. We're getting directions.
We can see the fruit of a man's house by how the women respond in certain environments.
Yep.
So speak to the fact, to the extent of what you saw, that dynamic when you go to Straightway, and how you see our sisters and the beautiful spirit that they have, and then how you saw the sisters here in this environment. Speak to that dynamic of being a man and what you saw, what you noticed. But I think it's something that we need to talk about and something that we need to encourage, because Pastor said it very well. He said that it's going to start with the men, and that's where really the awakening is going to flourish from that point, right? And that's where we're going to really see is going to be starting of Israel. So if you can speak to that thing.
So what Brother David's talking about is so true. Like, when I first came to Straightway, I was blown away by the manner and the conversation of the women at Straightway. I mean, it is so beautiful. The just how submitted and how quiet and gentle and meek when you first see it. Now, the longer you
after 6 miles
the longer you in it, you can kind of now see the difference between those who are the mature ones and those who are still immature. But overall, the woman is a reflection of the leadership of the man, right?
Yes, sir.
Of the father, of his daughter.
Just like with the reflection of the glory.
Yeah. Just like when we go, I mean, I believe that a lot of people were so impressed with Straightway, not by just Pastor Dow, but just by the people who represented Straightway over there. They were talking about, man, do you see Pastor Dow's soldiers? I mean, these are men. I mean, they were so impressed on how we carried ourselves. I mean, even even your conversation with brother Michael Israel, right? I mean, with Jerry and them, he was so blown away by the spirit that he saw on them. So we are a reflection.
But that's because of Pastor Dow's teaching.
So we are the fruit of what Pastor Dow has been teaching and been pushing. So that's what they were seeing. So a wife is the same way to a husband. And so the woman is such a reflection. And here's the part that blew me away. When you see the women, when I was at the conference, it was a total different spirit about the women you saw at this conference, as opposed to what you see at Straightway. I'm just being honest.
This is just encourage.
Just to encourage you that you can tell. I mean, guys, I'm just telling you. Guys, these women, the way they dress, it looked like they were part of the world.
Come on.
They got makeup on, tight clothes. You can see their body. I'm like, just take it off. I mean, just if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass do it. If you're gonna, I'm just telling you. I mean, women were. I mean, it's just a different spirit, people. It was totally different. Now, don't give me not all of them, but I'm just telling you, you can see the difference. You can even tell by how the men talk. You can tell that most of the men are really not the head of their home, that the women are the head. A lot is very matriarch. A lot of the men couldn't do what they want to do until the woman gave her support, until she was ready. A lot of the men don't move until the woman is ready. So you can just tell. But guys, I say this and bring it up because the Bible says open rebuke is better than secret love. So, if anything, if I'm saying something wrong, show me in the Word. Just show me in the Word. I will respect that. No, I don't care about your opinions and your feelings and your emotions. But if I'm saying something that's going against the Word, just show it to me in the Word. If you can Bible it, I can believe it.
Come on.
Do you hear that? If you can Bible it, I can believe it. But I'm just telling you what I saw. Right. And so it made me, in one sense, just so proud to be a part of Straightway. It made me so proud that I can say that Pastor Dow is my pastor. He's my shepherd. And just see how Yah is using Pastor Dow to be an influencer in the Hebrew Israelite community. I mean, Pastor Dow is on the cutting edge on kingdom building. He's on the cutting edge. He is leading the way.
And if you think that's impressive what he's done already, just give the ministry and all of Israel 10 more years and see where Yah's doing with us all. Right?
Yes, sir. And so, guys, anyway, that's my feedback of what I saw, and I just thought that it just really shows that when you look at it from a Christianity perspective, they don't even do it. They don't even keep it. So it was easy. I didn't know it at the time. I was telling Elder Rufus, man, I didn't see what you guys saw when you were there, but now that I'm here and been doing this for 2 years, I can see what they saw. I mean, it was a joke. Christianity is not even serious. I know I'm just trying to tear down the wall of Christianity to help those people who have eyes to see and ears to hear.
I got another question for you, brother. So, because I know, and we don't want to be like the Christians, because how many times the Christians always encourage some brothers out there? What would be a solution? How does a man regain his authority in his household? What can a man do in this time, being a Hebrew Israelite man? What can a man do to regain that patriarchal rule and righteousness, and that way he can lead his family in strength?
That's a great question. That's a great question, Brother David. Guys, this is how a man, I believe, needs to do it. And I talked to a couple of men and brothers, right, at the conference, and I heard their speech and about things that they were trying to accomplish and reestablish that patriarch, that their authority in their home. It really starts with the man. It really starts with you, and this is the solution that I was given to them. I said, we have a perfect example in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah. He's a perfect example. Look how he deals with us. Look how he did with Israel. Look at you have a Bible from Genesis to Revelation that tells you how to establish patriarch rule. Now, let me use me as an example. Let me use my story. Do you think that I, as a bride of Christ, wanted to lose my wife and children and lose half of everything I wanted to? I mean, I didn't want to. Now, I'll be willing to. But guess what? He says, time. He wasn't waiting for me. He says, you'll be tested. I'm going to find out how much you really love me. You think you love me? We will see. You'll be tested. He tested me. And what did he do? He put me in a situation where I had to choose between him and my wife, him and my children, him and my money. I had to choose. And as hard as it was, guys, I'm telling you, it was hard. So hard, man, I wanted to take my life. I thought about taking my life. It was so hard. But I'm glad that he did that because it gave me an opportunity to truly know what it means to love Jesus Christ. I really know what it means. And so I was telling the men that when you don't make decisions that you want to make, whatever it is, if you want to come to truth and do it a certain way, if you want to take on a second wife because you want to have children, if you want to have children, whatever it is, you need to do what you want to do regardless of what your wife feels. Because you're not really helping her. Well, she's not ready yet. You hear words like she's not ready yet, or man, the sisters struggle with that. Guys, how can a woman truly be all that Yah calls her to be if you don't do your part? You got to stand up, have some balls, and be a man. Be a man, because now when you decide to do what Yah's calling you to do, or do whatever it is that you want to do in regards of how your wife feels, I'm not saying lord over her or abuse her. I'm just talking about you do what you think is best for your household. And don't let your wife's feelings and emotions detour you from what you think is best for your own. Because you doing that would now put her in a position to now have to choose this day whom she's going to serve. Is she going to follow you? And by follow you, or is she going to leave you? Put her in that situation. Because now she's going to know what it really means to love. How can she really know what to love? And I'm not talking about polygamy. I'm just using polygamy as an example because that's something that a lot of women struggle with. But how's a woman going to really know what it's like to truly love a sister unless they're put in that situation? To be selfless. Yep. You got these women that are against polygyny. And we've been talking about that, right? They're against it. They don't want anything. They don't want anybody. They don't want to share their man, with no woman. They don't want somebody to have their man, even though they think their man is good for them, but they don't want it to share with somebody else. And the Bible says to love your neighbors, you love yourself. Come on, bro. How can they even practice that if they don't give an opportunity to do it? But if you're kind of babying them, or if you're trying to cater to their feelings and their emotions and their opinions, you're not giving them a chance to grow. Hey, tell the truth, bro. And then you think they're gonna make it to the kingdom that way? No, you're fooling yourself, because when Yah calls you and you have to choose between him and them, and when that fire drill, when the real, I mean, it's kind of like a fire drill. It's like you should be preparing for a fire drill. Get your family prepared for a fire drill. How many people don't really prepare? But when that fire comes, based on if you prepared or not, you're not gonna be ready for that. And so you're a woman, you cater to her feelings and emotions and opinions. And when Yah calls on you and you get that call, that visitation, she's not going to be ready to move with you because you have been catering to her feelings. That's what I did for 16 years. I I always was walking on eggshells. Didn't want to, if my wife wasn't comfortable with it, I wouldn't move in there. I just kind of move at her pace. What's up, brother?
I think you said something really good. I think because of the society that we grew up in this Western philosophy that we grew up in, this very matriarchal understanding, it's like we've always somehow been programmed and conditioned to rely on validations from women. And now, as Israelite men, we should be seeking for validation from our Heavenly Father, our husband, instead of our wives. And I think once we can understand that, that's when now you're not going to do the will of an unorderly relationship, but do the will of your own husband, do the will of your father. And I believe that if you can show that strength and determination, a woman will be for. I mean, why wouldn't a woman want to follow that strength, right? I mean, obviously there's certain situations where there is wickedness, but I mean, what would you say, brother? I mean, do you believe that that's how going from a validation, trying to be validated by our wives, and being more concerned about our whether Yah's going to reject us or not?
So, guys, let me give you an example. Brother David's so right. Let me give you an example. This is real life. So when I went to go pick up my new Ishaya, right, from obviously she's in KC, but and bring her to Straightway Praise Land, right, to Wisconsin. Man, it was hard on her. I mean, she's never left home before, and it was a situation where we had a lot of time, right? We had a lot of time, and she said, "Can I just go see my mom one more time?" And I thought to myself, what would Jesus do? And I said, you know something? I told her, I said, any man puts his hand on the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom of Yah. And man, it was just like, I mean, I could have. I mean, the world said, come on, Kabir. I mean, you got 5 hours. Go let her go see her mom for one last minute. Just one. Come on, Kabir. It was right there. You're driving by. And I said, nah, it's time. And she cried. She chose to come home with me. And so that's being a man. I didn't want to make her so I don't want her to cry, and I don't want to. No, she can cry. She's entitled to cry into her emotions and everything, but she decided to come with me. She could have said, "Nah, let me out. I'm done. I want to go back." I mean, she wanted to go back.
But you were doing it to protect her.
But I was doing it to protect her, doing my part. I was doing what's best for us. I can't have her. She has to break those soul ties. And the old Kabir would have been so concerned by her feelings and emotions that I would have done whatever it takes to make her happy. You can't be about happy wife, happy life. It has to be about happy man, happy life. If the man ain't happy, the house ain't happy. Do you guys hear me? That's that is how you be a man. I don't want to
hear this, bro, but we have to talk about it.
Yeah, so you hear people that want more children, but they don't have children because their wife don't want it, or she ain't ready. You hear men that want to move, but they don't want to move because their wife is not comfortable moving. I mean, you just get whatever it is. You as a man do what you want to do. You have men that has the resources and want to have more wives and children and can do it, but don't do it because they're waiting on their wife to be okay with it.
What did Yeshua say? Remember last.
And I'm not saying you got to be wise in how you do all this stuff, but I'm just saying, but don't let that hinder you. Because you're not doing your wife or your family any favor. You're actually hurting them. You're actually setting them up for failure. I mean, look at my situation. Okay, yeah, I was obedient to the Most High for the most part, or trying to be. I made it, but my ex-wife, she didn't make it. She failed the test. Why? Because she was trained to fail the test. Don't underestimate that, guys. You may make it. You may be okay with things that's in the Word. But if you're not helping your wife in that, you're setting up for failure. You're setting up your children for failure. So anyway, so I just think about just be a man. You do the things, obviously keeping the commandments, and you do the things that you feel is best for your home. Now, does that mean you can't seek your wife counsel and just, get her point of view? No, I'm not saying that. But don't let her insecurity stop you from being a man and making those decisions. So anyway, guys, this has been 40 minutes here, but...
I don't know, can you feel the people manifesting on the other end of that?
I don't know. I see things happening here. So, but guys, here's the deal. So as I wrap up here, I just thought it was kind of cool to see Pastor Dow being an example to the the Hebrew Israelites community. I just thought he did a good job, and the reason why I think he's so far advanced on the cutting edge because he is a doer of the word. There's a difference between knowing only or just being a hearer but not a doer. And so that's just really that's what I really gleaned from that. And so I hope anyone that's listening to this stuff would just really do a gut check, look in the mirror and say, am I really being a doer Because a lot of people that's in this truth is not being a doer of the word. But at least they have a better chance making it to the kingdom, because at least they're keeping the Shabbat, maybe they're keeping the feast days, you know, maybe they're not doing communities. So maybe they'll be the one that's least in the kingdom of heaven. But Christianity have no chance of making it. The practice of Christianity is not even close, because they're a practice of lawlessness. So anyway,
You want to open it up for questions?
anyway, I want to open up for questions. If anybody have any questions before I wrap this thing up, I see things coming up, and I don't know how to see the.
Turn
Let me
it
see.
the other way.
Let me turn it the other.
No, actually, no, you should be able to go like this.
Okay, hold on.
Like this.
Any questions? And don't crash here, David. David is usually my tech guy here. So I see people talking about women can practice polygyny.
Women can practice polygamy.
Women can practice. I don't know.
Polyandry, is that what do they mean?
Women can practice. I don't know. That's Brother Vernie here. I don't know what. Maybe there's some women. Women can't practice polygyny.
Participate in polygyny.
Oh yeah, women can practice polygyny, I guess. Okay. But anybody have any questions right now? I have a hard time going back because it's as you can see here, it's on my phone here. Are you guys all good? Are we good? I see 47 people on there still. Are they buffering here? If you guys can hear me, please give me a 7. Give me a 7, please, because I don't know if we're buffering here. Yep, Jay is right. You should have no other guys before me. And that's including women, and that's what ended up happening. That's what Christian. That's it, guys. Even though Christianity teach matriarch, but I can see it also in the Hebrew Israelite community too. You can, yeah, we come from that, and you can see basically Christianity over here. I mean, that matriarch mentality over here. We truly, until we are truly ruling our house, we're not truly following the Most High. When one man has multiple wives, the children knows who's their mother. I'm just reading here in the news. When a woman has multiple husbands, the children does not know. Yep, that's true. I think that's Brother Ugly. Right on the way about that one. I don't want to do that. All right, guys. So, you guys, I had okay, I can see that. I see you guys are communicating. This is good. This is good. I'm glad that you guys are communicating about this stuff. So anyway, guys, this is the best. This is the best that I could do for the KGB Live Show. I had to take it on the road because we're traveling.
You did say last week you're like, I'm gonna try to do something.
Yeah. So this is the best. So we was able to get 40 minutes in there. I'll still be there next week. Next Monday night, it will be 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The KGB Live Show, this time it will be in the office, in the Oval Office of Straightway Praise Land. But right now, we are in the Beast, the Cadillac Beast here.
Know where we're at.
Yeah,
we still in,
right now, we just passed Milwaukee. Marquette, is that McQuan?
Where is that?
I don't know. Yeah. So we almost heading home. We'll be home in 2 hours here.
Yeah.
But guys, I hope you guys are hearing what I'm saying, guys. And I hope the people, too, that's not a part of Straightway, do what Pastor Dow says. Get 2 or 3 people, get together, and then start fellowshipping. Start there. That's what I did. I started with just fellowshipping with Brother David, his wife and daughter, and Brother Jordan, and Brother Ryan. It was 3 right there. Just start fellowshipping, and then from there we end up starting the community. So, guys, that's my word. You have any closing words that you want to say?
I mean, just stay tuned next week, I guess, for the KGB Live Show. Don't forget about Sister to Sister coming up on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then you got Blog Talk Radio with Pastor Dow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays on Blog Talk, and then obviously Shabbat service on straightway.com. At 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We always have a live stream there too. So that's pretty much it. I mean, anything else you want to close off with?
All right, guys. Well, hey, guys, I hope this stimulated thought. And guys, please, I want you guys to, as we continue doing the KGB Live Show, I really do like some feedback, as we talk and dialogue, because guys, I want to tear down the wall of Christianity. I want to tear down our way of thinking, I want to challenge. I want to, you know, in football, one thing I like about football is that it was just an iron sharpened iron environment, you know, and I want to just challenge everything, you know, challenge how we think. This polygyny seems like it's a big deal because I don't think everybody even the Hebrew Israelite community is for that, you know, or against it. But I can tell you right now, as I've been studying about this topic, I can tell you right now that this is what Israel needs. And I'm not even talking about everybody has to have multiple wives. I mean, like Pastor Dow said, maybe only 5% of people may only be able to practice it because it requires you to have the resources to take them in.
That's one of the best ways to build a nation.
Yeah, but to have the option, just the option to know that a man can have that and a man knows he can have it and a woman knows that his man can have that, creates a patriarch environment, society. But when you close that off and that there's no possibility that a man can take on more wives, it changes into a matriarch. And then the men and the boys end up becoming effeminate. And we know that people who are effeminate will not enter the kingdom of heaven. They will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. And so I'll be talking more about that, and I'll be talking about homestead because I am going to be making some changes. I just things I still got to get done. But there's things I'm going to be making. I'm gonna try to live out the thing that Pastor Dowd, the vision that he has for a straight way, and it's in the Word, you know. So stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna let you guys follow my journey in there, and not to show you guys to say, look at me what I'm doing, but I'm putting this out there to be an encouragement to inspire you to do the same. Pastor Dowd's already done it, and so I get a chance to start from ground zero too, and not even start to, but at least build off of what Pastor Dow has already built. But at least you guys get to see what it's like to start a community. So anyway, I'll let you guys be on that one. So just a little sneak preview of what I'm looking at. So I'm going to show that to you guys because I want this to be an encouragement. Because so many people say, how do you do community? How do you do community? How do you get land? Well, I'm hoping to be an example, I guess, you know. Not because I know it all. You can see me you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from the good things I'm doing, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. You can see how I'm going to seek counsel from Pastor Dow, who's already done it. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So you better believe that I'm going to be seeking counsel from Pastor Dow, who's been doing this for 20 years. And so we're going to do this stuff. So anyway, that's it.
That's good. I like it.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys next week. You guys continue, share, like, comment, and you guys will still see some. I'll make some videos throughout the week and continue putting some content out there. Appreciate your guys' support. Shalom, shalom.